There is a huge infrastructure gap out there. So all the MDBs with the World Bank and the DFIs all together can't bridge this gap.
And we lag significantly because of years of underinvestment in that area. So there's catch up to do and there's more to do beyond that.
We are talking about at least a 5 trillion rupee per year requirement of infrastructure financing. And that cannot be met alone by the government on their own resources.
So key issue is in Pakistan, debt market is developed to the extent of the government securities. But the corporate securities, there are a number of institutions which have to play a role in the overall corporate debt market.
In Pakistan, the financial sector is dominated by the banks, which is good. The banking sector has done a good job, I'm not saying that. But to develop, we need other parts of the financial sector to develop, which includes mutual funds, which includes insurance, which includes pension schemes, because those are the pools of funds which are really long-term in the outlook. Therefore, whether it's equity, whether it's debt, they are able to take a 10, 15, 20, 30 year view.
Our role is really to facilitate the financing into longer term financing into infrastructure, and particularly those projects that are on the edge of being bankable and which enable us to crowd in the private sector.
We have requirement in water, we have requirement in low-cost housing, we have requirement in health, education, hospitals, schools, and the need is enormous.
So there are several problems that you have to try to solve for in those bankable projects, and that's where we look to an entity like InfraZamin to come in and provide some of those innovative plugins to help surmount some of those problems.
There is a significant role that private capital can play in supporting infrastructure development in a country, not just the level of capital that they bring in, it's also the managerial and financial innovation that bring in to this field.
Here is InfraZamin, which is going to teach the market, and you mark my words, how to think long term. And particularly when you talk about infrastructure, you have to think long term. You cannot get involved in financing or providing guarantees to, let's say, a road project or to a dam or to other infrastructure. And a sustainable development in that must come from the financial side, whether capital market or DFIs or banking industry, to start thinking long term.
For InfraZamin itself has been, or a credit guarantee facility has been a missing link or missing component of the overall corporate debt market. So I believe all the components are present. It's a matter of projects coming in and kick-starting the corporate market.
In terms of infrastructure growth, these institutions will definitely help as far as power sector is concerned a lot, and I'm sure other infrastructure projects would need these kind of finances in the country.
So it's not just the brick and mortar per se, but it's also about women participation. It's also about climate. It's about bringing in all those communities into the fold and those sectors which are conventionally out of the financial inclusion space. And this is how the InfraZamin can play its role in terms of increasing the size of our documented economy as well, which is again a need of the hour.
We started with InfraCredit Nigeria back in the day, some 4 or 5 years ago. InfraZamin's been going for a couple of years. We're now looking to East Africa and beyond, and we can really see this as a template to actually mobilise institutional money in country with local investors. So that's something that gives me great pride.